Hi, this video is going to take about 5 minutes to watch, but it has some really important information about how I want to help you fund your faith-based film. Please indulge me some backstory first. My name is John Graham, and I'm a faith-based film producer. I expect to begin filming my first feature late this fall, and if you're like me, the funding process is by far the most challenging. I mean, we got into film because we're strong in storytelling and hopefully skilled in bringing that story to the screen. But the business side of filmmaking, well, that's a learned art. And most of the learning comes by way of lessons learned from mistakes made, the School of Hard Knocks. I don't know how far along you are as a filmmaker, but eventually you get to the place where you just can't ask for handouts anymore. Everybody and their neighbor is crowdfunding for something. And while they may believe in you and your project, they just get fatigued by all the solicitation. I assume if you're making a film, you have aspirations of it being profitable. So naturally, we look to investment strategies to fund our film. But traditional film investment plans require the majority of investors to be what the SEC calls a qualified investor. Now, that's a nice way of saying that according to their tax returns, they can afford to invest and lose it all. It doesn't take long to run through the list of rich uncles and neighbors, and after a few no thank yous, you're kind of back to zero. Well, back in 2016, Congress approved legislation that will allow anyone, regardless of income, to invest up to $2,200 per year through something called Reg CF. Well, why is this a big deal? Well, compare a traditional crowdfund campaign that offers a t-shirt, a DVD, and a film credit, and to be honest, it's a little unprofessional, to one that offers the investor get their money back, plus interest, and even a share of the back end if the film is profitable. It seems a lot more appealing to me. And it makes me think of the parable of the talents in Matthew 25. Clearly, the idea of making a profit on an investment is a concept that is in sync with Scripture. When I heard about this, I did some research and I discovered only one feature film had ever traveled this path to raise funds. When I launched my campaign about a year ago, I was the first faith-based film to do it. I'd like to tell you we hit our $1 million production goal. We didn't. We raised around $80,000, and that has served as a very healthy development fund for us. Furthermore, I have 280 individual investors from around 32 states across the country who will be an amazing marketing team for me when our film is ready to release. Think of the ground roots effort they can provide. Perhaps the toughest hurdle for me to jump was simply being first. Folks are slow to trust firsts. You're probably a little slow to trust what I'm saying right now, and so I've included a link directly to the SEC guidelines. Go check it out for yourself after you watch this. But secondly, I had a major marketing issue too. I only needed 10,000 people to invest $100 and I'd have my film funded. And very conservative studies say that 52 million folks are in church around the country every week. The problem was the service I was using, and no service that's doing this, was advertising to our target market. They were marketing to investors, folks who invest money in the next widget or technology, but certainly not film, and definitely not faith-based film. But what if there were an SEC-approved portal that only featured faith-based film and entertainment projects? What if that portal marketed their projects to the faith community? Imagine someone seeing a flyer in a Christian magazine or an ad on a website that has Christian content that said, "Invest in the future of faith-based film, click here." And when they visited the website, they could peruse dozens of faith-based films in development and pick one to invest in for as little as $100. What if filmmakers could also find a team of folks to help with social media marketing and trustworthy lawyers to help get your business documents in place, and a network of other folks further down the road in faith-based filmmaking who could provide advice when needed? As the site grew, I expect distributors would keep an eye on projects and perhaps offer distribution deals if they liked what they saw. Well, that's the vision for what, at the moment, I'm calling FaithFilm.Fund. I could have this portal operational relatively quickly if I had a handful of projects that were ready to go at launch. So here's what I'm wondering. Does this interest you? Now, when I say we're at the ground floor, we're probably at the basement. I just admitted I'm open to even change the branding. I just wonder if you're interested in what I'm saying and if you'd share your email with me. I want to begin a dialogue with you. I want to understand the expected budget of your projects. I'd like to know how far along you are with your business documents and the business side of your production. And if together we decide this isn't the best approach for you, well, then at least I've made a new friend in the business. But I really believe this could completely change how faith-based films are funded. I believed it when I started my campaign. I believe it could release dozens of filmmakers to get their projects to screens worldwide, and we could totally revolutionize the entertainment business. If you want to stay up to date as this idea starts to grow into something real, just give me your email below. And thanks for watching.